Hey guys, and welcome back to Misha's Corner. Today I'll be showing you these Thanksgiving side dishes. I'll be showing you this amazing, delicious 3-cheese mac and cheese that was just perfect. This honey walnut sweet potato souffle, and this maple butter cornbread. Let's get into it. Alright, you guys, so let's start with the cornbread. I'm gonna go in here with some flour, some cornmeal, y'all already know, 1 some salt, some baking powder. Remember, all ingredient measurements will be in my description box. Make sure you check that out. This is actually a maple butter cornbread. It's pretty easy, simple, and you cannot mess it up. Now for the wet ingredients, I'm gonna be going in here with some eggs, some buttermilk, of course, some maple syrup, and some butter. Better with butter, right? A whole stick of butter, as a matter of fact. Now you're just going to mix everything up. Make sure your pan is nice and greased and ready to go. This is not a super big or super large cornbread. So if you have like a, 10 to 15, 20 people that's coming over, just double it. If they really care about cornbread like that. People don't be eating like a lot of cornbread. You want to pop this in the oven, bake it off, just like I'm doing here. Check out the consistency. Make sure yours is similar, because you know how y'all do me. By the way, this was so delicious, you guys. That maple came all the way through, and I loved it. I think I will make this again. This is how it looked once it's out the oven. And now I'm going to make the maple butter mixture. It's just softened butter and the maple syrup, and I'm just going to mix it together. It will look a hot mess once you mix everything up like I'm doing here, but it's going to be great once you get it all over top of your cornbread. Okay, and this is what it looks like right here. A mess. But that's how I wanted it to look. You could also melt the butter all the way down if you want, but I just wanted it to be schmearable. So that's what I did. All right, so you're just going to take your maple butter and smear it all over top like I'm doing here. The cornbread is still nice and hot. So I did this right after I took it out the oven. It did not sit for 10-15 minutes. It's hot. Okay, as you can see, it's getting nice and melty. But again, I just wanted to do something a little different and keep it nice and delicious and simple. And I feel like the maple syrup definitely gave it a pop. Of course, the butter is going to give it a pop. Everything's better with butter. But the maple syrup definitely gave it a pop. And I hope somebody gives it a try. And yeah. All right, so this is what it looks like once it's sliced and everything ready to go, nice and fluffy and moist. Let me switch the lighting so you can really see it, okay? But yeah, see, simple, easy maple butter cornbread. So now let's get into this mac and cheese. So this is the pasta that I'll be using. It's just a simple 3-cheese mac and cheese recipe. Everything I got here was like under $40 from Walmart. I believe they had a sale on the cheese. The cheese was $1.99 in Walmart today. So if you're in Texas, make sure you go down to Walmart. They got a sale, child. These are the cheeses that I'll be using. I'm using sharp cheddar, pepper jack, and mozzarella for that stringy effect, of course. So now let's make the cheese sauce. So to my skillet, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour. And you want to cook that out for just about 60 seconds, not too long at all. Like the gravy video I did the other day. And I was like, so about 60 seconds or so, even probably less. Then I'm going to add half and half. I'm using half and half because that's what I always use, But I added some of my half and half to get everything going and gelling together. I don't like to put the whole thing. The secret, in my opinion, to prevent lumps is to use cold milk, cold half and half, cold heavy cream. Especially if you're not experienced with making a bechamel. So I added the rest of the half and half that I needed, just like I'm doing here. Again, all ingredient measurements will be in my description box. Make sure you check it out. So as it's trying to come back up to a simmer, I'm going to start to season it. I'm going to use some chicken bouillon powder, some Nashville hot. This is not going to make it hot. It just has like a nice flavor in the back. Some black pepper, some onion powder, of course, and some ground mustard. And you want to mix this up. At this point, I started using the whisk because of the spices. But yeah, if you want to use the whisk from the beginning, that's totally fine as well. But because of the spices, they clump up. So I went and got a whisk. And that's pretty much it for the seasonings for me. This is the cheese that I shredded. And yeah, we're good to go. So now I'm going to add all this cheese down up in here. It is called mac and cheese. It's also the holiday season. You don't eat this every day, every week. Do not start with me. Okay. So once you add your cheese and your stove and your sauce is nice and bubbly, turn it off. You don't want to boil the cheese. So if your sauce is doing too much of a bubble, turn it off so the cheese can melt and give you like this ooey gooey effect like you see right here. All right, so my cooked pasta is nice and ready to go. And then now I'm going to add the rest of my mozzarella cheese down directly on the pasta. And then I'm going to pour my sauce. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. Look at this sorcery, okay? This cheese sauce was so delicious too, by the way. I always do 3 cheeses or less because I feel like when you go up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it cancels each other out. So, but this is how it looks. Super creamy, super cheesy, super stringy. And yeah, so you want to mix this up really well. Get all the noodles coated in that Swiss. And then you're going to top it with even more cheese. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven and show you guys what that looks like. I don't even know the last time I gave y'all a shot of my oven with something in it nice and bubbly and looking good like this. But this is what it looks like. Nice and golden, bubbly, delicious, cheesy, and good to go, okay? You think I let this sit for like 30 minutes? No. I went right up on in there and took a scoop out so I could show it to you guys. Look how piping hot it was. It's out the oven and it's still bubbling, child. At this point, I know y'all want some. But this is what it looks like, you guys. Super easy, super simple. It's the same recipe I make all the time. It's the fail-proof. You can't mess it up. And this is how it looks. I'm just going to put some on a plate so you guys can see. Look how cheesy and creamy that is. This could be on your Thanksgiving table, honey. Okay? On your Thanksgiving table, make sure you make this one. All right, so let's move on to the sweet potato souffle after I tease y'all some more with this mac and cheese. All right, you guys, so these are the walnuts that I'll be using. I'm going to toast them off a bit in a skillet. You put it in a cool skillet, a non-heated skillet, and then you put it on the stove for like 5 minutes. Once you smell it fragrant, you're good to go. To my potatoes. Now, these potatoes, I had popped them in the oven, baked them off. Now they're in my bowl. I'm adding some softened butter, some brown sugar, honey. Pretty much like the same suspects as if you're making sweet potato pie. So what I want to do is I want to smash the potatoes, get it nice and, broken down before I add everything else. Also, I forgot to say what this actually was, honey. This is a honey walnut sweet potato souffle. So once I get that nice and broken down, I'm going to add the honey down in here as well as the vanilla, the, what is that? The almond flavoring, the cinnamon, and the nutmeg. My bad, y'all. Mommy brain. Literally, today is like one of the worst days ever. But keep your girl in y'all thoughts. We gonna get to that tea on a later date. And I also added some half and half down in here. Or you can use milk. And you want to mix this up really, really well. Just like I'm doing here. This thing smells amazing. That nutmeg with the cinnamon and the almond flavoring and everything, it just smells amazing. And it's really good. Do I prefer this over apple pie? I mean, sweet potato pie? I like the sweet potato pie crust, so I'm a little biased. But once I add the eggs, I make sure I get it nice and mixed in. The reason why I added the eggs last is because I wanted to taste it to make sure I like the flavor of it. And then I added the eggs. Once I got that mixed up, then I added the toasted walnut. I mixed that in really well, just like I'm doing here with a spoon. And now I'm going to add this mixture to a properly greased pan, like I have in the back. And we're going to pop this thing in the oven for about 30 minutes on 375 just to make sure the eggs are nice and cooked. It doesn't take long at all. And, you know, just as long as it's nice and bubbly and it becomes like fluffy and souffle-like. Like, you see how it looks right now in this bowl? You're going to see what it looks like once it's out. Like, look at this. You see how it got like fluffy and like, I don't even know how another way to say it, but it just looked like, you know, fluffy. So to top this off, ooh, child, the Karens are about to come get me, y'all. Hold me down in the comments. Hold me down in the comments. Ooh, look at the marshmallows. Y'all, now y'all know marshmallows ain't supposed to go on top of here. But listen, it's what I wanted, okay? But I put some more walnuts and marshmallows on top. I'm going to pop it back in the oven to toast it up 90 seconds, if that. And this is what it looks like. And all you gotta do is go up in there, get a nice scoopity doop doop doop. And y'all, this was delicious. I would make this again. Not this year though, because once I'm done with these holiday recipes, that's it. I'm not even cooking from, you know, my own, you know, that's out the door. But I'm not even making anything else. After I'm done with this series for YouTube, that's a wrap, honey. I am done cooking for the year, okay? But look at this. Look how beautiful this looks. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you for your support. If you try these recipes, let me know what you think. And I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.